Oh, it's downing.
How does this one work?
Eliza, if you can hear us, please give us a signal.
Where's she asleep? Or
Slater? However,
believe it's
I don't always see things that match
She
up
also
when I'm
just
going
froze your
through,
camera.
obviously, some audio recordings. I'm like, oh, every once in a while I'll see them. I'm like, oh, that was actually at the same time.
As soon as we got in this area, it's just
None
like
of them are
really
synced
crazy.
up. So,
Eliza,
again,
Matt
this is
and I are
meant to scare
homies.
people.
Please do not kill
It's just
us.
generating words. There's over
Anybody
9,000
else,
words.
though?
So it's going to spit out a random
Fuck
word
with
from
them.
time to time. Again,
What makes it spit out the word just like...
Please
it's the way
actually
they have
test
it
it.
built.
Okay.
So
And they
If
can
you
help
want to play beer
influence that.
pong,
they can either help influence it or put whatever word they want to on there. I'm still seeing new words on here. I've been using this thing for 5
I'm
years.
just joking.
That I've never seen before. And again, I watch to see how many words are in there, so in case there's an update,
Eliza, if you can hear us,
go with that.
please give us a signal.
The airport's like right there.
Okay. So,
We have spirit boxes and we have IR video.
to Eliza. Right.
Please show us that you are
Different
here.
Charleses.
Slavery has been
with
abolished,
that
my
said,
girl.
you can ask obviously what the maiden name is.
We won.
You can ask what happened to the mansion. Obviously, it's not here anymore. And you can ask when that tragedy happened.
She's
Hopefully you
getting a
get
lot of
the year.
orders, so I'm
I've
gonna
had
try to
that
film
go.
her.
With Eliza's death, ask anything you want to. Eliza, how did you die? Where did you die? What did you die from? What U.S. president was a pallbearer at your funeral? That's usually a pretty big one. That's pretty definitive. I've gotten that answer here. I can't tell you how many times. But I won't put up. When it comes to the children, you already know that there was at least one child named Charles. You can ask how many kids there are, how many boys, how many girls. Get the names, leave it alone. Why? Because there's a tragedy amongst those children. Yes, there's more than one that she doesn't always like to talk about. And if we do, all activity, including EMF activity, will stop. I've seen it dozens of times. So again, don't get too curious. Leave it alone. If in the event she wants to talk about that tragedy, I'll know based off the words you guys are telling me that you guys are hearing and seeing on your spirit boxes. So,
You're frozen.
with that
tragedy.
what's that?
Was it a fire?
It was a fire. Do you know what year? You're a history teacher? No. So we'll talk more about that fire. In the event
You said some keywords and his camera freezes.
it's always going to calibrate every 2 to 3 minutes.
Oh.
Calibrating, it's calibrating.
Oh.
Again, debunk. We are going to stay within the confines of the lot. Lasers off the vehicles. Keep in mind, guys, there are people's cars in here. They don't like their cars being filmed or pictures taken of.
Right.
Somebody's going to their vehicle, walk away. Again, I don't like to run with 10 people. It's never fun. So, have some fun in here. I'm going to obviously check everything in on the website that Colin bought your tickets from to make sure everybody's here. So I will take care of that. I'm giving you guys kind of a 2-minute head start, and then I'm going to start bouncing around with every single one of you. Let's get those spirit boxes loud and proud. Obviously turn the REM pod on. Where's that again? So Greg, make sure you got your REM pod on so that way we can detect motion. Again, you are following Mary and Greg based on the activity that they see on their EMF. They're already getting some here, so if somebody wants to stay here with the spirit box, by all means do so. So, let's have some fun in here. Spread out.
Thank you.
Wait, I forgot names.
Were you when you got married?
Justin.
You did see as I was walking away, how I
Also,
would
did you really
go
love him?
green and then like come
And
back
have
and
you
start
heard of the
flashing.
term
Right?
groomed? Because I have questions as an older brother.
We keep saying that there's no slavery connection, but I'm not so sure.
Eliza, how did you die?
Fire.
She has to answer.
Because you know about the fire.
Answer for me.
It's not really hot all of a sudden. I thought it was
Man, you need to stop doing the psychic shit.
Eliza,
I
if
told
you
him
are
ahead
here,
of time you're like that.
Who was the pallbearer at your funeral?
That's so weird that you guessed the fire.
Eliza, if you are here, please. Excuse me, that was rude to interrupt me. Please give us a signal. How did you die?
Mary, why don't you ask questions since you felt that fire? Why don't you like ask the questions? So what you felt like hot? Because it's like a breeze. Like what do you mean you like felt hot? Like what kind of?
What was the name of your first child? Eliza, we are here to communicate with.
What else are you feeling, Mary? Like this, what are you feeling? rushing the girl.
Eliza, how old were you when you died?
I don't think girls like to talk about their age.
Eliza, would you burn that church down if you wanted to?
Yes! We have a serious rule.
Eliza, I am terrified of you, but I am trying to believe you are real. Please give us a sign that you are here so that we can put you to rest.
Ooh, we can't make those promises. That's you're signing checks we don't have. Eliza.
I'm here with a man named Matthew Ramsden.
Okay, now hold on now.
He lives at...
Don't you fucking give it my address. You know I believe that shit can follow you home. Don't give that my address.
For sure.
Don't be giving our names.
Yes or no?
Are you making it louder, or is it like get louder?
I'm switching it.
Oh, okay.
Would you like us to move to a different place?
Whoa.
Do you want us to leave?
Would you like us to leave, Eliza?
That thing gets really red. If you want us to leave, make that red. Let's stop. Do you want us to stay? Make it red.
Would you like to have a picnic?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear. I said leave, it went down. I said stay.
Eliza, we are going to connect ourselves in a circle. Please allow your presence to be known. You have to connect or our spirit circle doesn't work. Really? It sounds like she's on my bullshit. Eliza, I have a...
You're not listening. You're talking too much.
I think Mary... What if Mary's actually connecting with Eliza and Eliza's telling Mary to say to shut the fuck up to Colin?
Mary just helped my Bumble profile, Eliza. What do you think?
I don't even know what a bubble.
I'm gonna go get my...
Oh, is that not a...
How is she supposed to tell you anything if you don't shut up?
Mary, hold this for a second. I'm gonna get my second.
Would you like to ask a question?
Just be quiet.
Okay. Eliza, we will listen to you.
Stuff like acid in front of it.
It's a broken heart.
So just to kind of keep the equipment dry.
Yeah.
See? You just have to shut up, Colin.
her about my Bumble profile and she made it rain.
I said it. No.
Yeah, she's crying. She saw it.
Well, I told Colin to shut the fuck up and asked if there's anything she wanted to say, and it said broken heart.
We can go over here.
Thanks.
We had some pretty high EMF readings, but I haven't heard.
How high did it go?
It was all the way
All
up.
the way up.
You've been all the way up to 25?
For sure to the red. Mary can attest.
Mary was doing some weird shit.
Mary's already
She told me I asked too many questions and I didn't give her time to respond, but it for sure went up to the red.
Eliza, do
But
you
with
like
that,
the
you
rain?
weren't listening.
I'm sorry, that's a common complaint.
I'm still weird how you knew about the fire.
Big John,
Add it to your phone.
Mad that he wasn't getting like. Like he left and look.
I'm freaked out that he's like standing alone out
As soon as he
there.
left, it came back. It hates him. It literally hates him. We're not even kidding. This was completely stopping as soon as he left.
You know what? That's fair.
Well,
Big John. Respect goes
she's
respect.
pretty damn close to the building.
what they
It's
want.
going to have electricity in it.
She was standing still this whole time, and it was just green until he left. They pissed Eliza off, I'm pretty sure. He was asking
He
a
was
lot
just
of
asking
questions.
questions too quickly.
We realize that. So Big John plays with the
Big
Giants.
John, are you here with us?
The Giants may not
Not
be a
really.
football team. What do you want from me?
No, I was saying it. I don't think it was just the building. I think Colin literally actually pissed off his bear.
I don't think I get along with Big John.
Because now she's still fluctuating.
He's iffy.
All right, I think we're good to head
Good
back.
to go? I'm going to keep it dry.
That thing's wet, you gotta drive off. It'll
Will
stop.
me putting my hands over top of it affect it at all? Just to keep it dry? Like if I go like this, will it affect it?
Shouldn't.
Okay, I just want to keep it dry. I did tell you guys ahead of time, Mary's got like some psychic shit.
I'm very intuitive.
Wasn't that crazy? First thing, was she on fire? I had to sleep next to this girl. Fucked up. And
at
she was like,
least-
I sensed your
At
grandfather.
least you
And I'm
know
like,
if there's a ghost in there, she'll wake you up.
the problem she does. One time she was sleeping, she was like, they're here. And I was like, what?
Are you serious?
I'm not even kidding.
Just one time, the aliens.
Spirit boxes. That corner up there is kind of a hot spot. So anybody want to head up there?
Spirit box? What am I?
Your spirit box.
Go over there. Let's go over there.
Tweak.
I've already filmed some other people. Let's go with you. I heard over in the corner.
This thing's going nuts.
Yeah, let's go over in the corner. How's Team Greg and Natalie been doing? Anything fun?
Well, I found 3 words over in the other corner earlier.
What were they saying?
It said,
Oh, you got it. Cool. That keeps a record.
earlier it said lust over by that
Oh,
car over
shit.
there. And then it went up to they laugh in the corner, which freaked me out.
Was that when
And
Colin
then
was making
roll.
jokes?
No, this was like way earlier when we were in the parking lot
Oh,
the
okay.
first time. And then I've gotten all of these since then. Shown typical small 0 tweak.
Weird.
But I'm not catching up on anything right now.
Small's around the time where I said Big John.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so weird. Oh, I always have to have somebody in frame for us to work.
Yeah.
See, isn't this a fun idea, Nat?
I love this. I'm not going to sleep for 3 weeks, but I'm all about it. I was telling
Yeah, she is. She's the word one.
Greg, I was like, I'm so free.
Colin.
Colin, come here.
What's yours do?
Detects stuff moving through it, and also EMF.
Colin talks too much.
Stop right there. This is like a super hot spot.
All right, bring your word thing over.
Turn your thing on.
Come closer. Like right here, Colin. Like over here. Right here. Both of you. Go ahead and call and ask your questions. One at a time.
Eliza, please tell us the pallbearer at your funeral. Eliza, we are here to communicate with you. Please tell us your firstborn's name.
Do you have any questions, Mary? Maybe you'll have better luck.
It all stopped when Colin came over here.
Mary, ask a
I've
question.
gotten 2 words since you were here.
She's shy.
My EMF went down from like 35 to 1.
Are you like scared? You had a connection with the. Ask a question. Oh, well, he's gone.
Scared the ghost off.
Are you scared to like have a connection?
No, just.
You're the
I feel
closest
like
one we've had yet.
just let her. If she wants to speak, she will.
No,
I don't know what to ask.
it's too late now. We lost our communication device.
Look at this
It's not
communication
about.
device.
It's not about
Oh,
him.
oh yeah, we have that one. What does that
I've
say?
gotten oak and narrow. Tweak,
and narrow.
oak, narrow.
Huh. What would narrow and oak be related to?
I don't know. He says a lot of these words are like
Yeah, where do they come
not
from?
important.
So how do those get like triggered? Where do
It's
those
just
come
like
from?
random words to spook people. But then he says, depending on the story and where you're at,
So where do they
certain
come
words,
from?
like, trigger.
Wavelengths or like what makes the words?
I feel like there's just like a computer that like loads words onto the device.
That seems skeptical.
What happened? Oh,
I
yes.
think it's supposed to be like a stream of random
I got
words that can be picked
narrow,
out
oak,
of.
tweak, and zero.
You had something happening.
Oh yeah, we had like 25 and 35 EMF here.
So 25 and what?
25 and like up to 35 here.
Okay. So
But then he came over and it stopped.
I'm telling you,
I don't like my questions.
there's been weird stuff happening with him all night.
Don't write that down.
I mean, it's kind of important.
doesn't like Colin.
Yeah, that did stop when he came over, didn't it? It was
Yeah.
like going crazy. Colin came over and just stopped.
And then I started getting 12 over here again, and then he came back and it went away too. So
And the dogs live here.
Possible, but I need another point for that one.
I'm sorry they don't like you.
Are you though?
The thing that freaked me out was like when I was, so I hit my car and it said must. And I walked in the corner and it said they laughed. I don't know, they laughed like freaked me out a little bit. Because wasn't that like a little garden area?
Garden's not here.
Hang?
No.
Nothing.
And the interesting thing is that I think you've had two terms so far that are related to another story of a woman that is said to be seen all over Charleston. The only reason we go to the specific location that I go to is because it is from the same time period of when she lived here. So I go there for the reference, but they do say you can, and I've
Who
had
was it?
Ann Bonnie.
Was she the one who scratched her victims?
No.
Which one was that? Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
So there's the one woman who was like the serial killer.
That's Lavinia.
Understand. Who would like seduce men and scratch them.
That's probably Lavinia. That's the one from the jail.
Yes.
We're talking about a pirate. We'll go back another 150 years.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
And who?
Bonnie.
What was her story?
It's a long one, so I'm gonna give it to you at the Powder Magazine when we get there.
Oh, okay.
But again, you've had two
I am
terms.
so intrigued. I'm just
You have hang, and then you had another word that it was stabbed. That's what it was.
around you, hang.
Hang and stabbed. are
Stabbed
definitely-
were like way earlier though.
Doesn't matter. Again, they say
It doesn't?
So
Because she wanders.
right now, also keep in mind, even though we were over back at the Big Red Barn, we could have still gotten answers from Eliza and Charles from over here.
Just because it's
in the
proximity.
vicinity. Right. Again, you're not always going to get a definitive answer.
So, like, what is this?
It's an app with a phone. It's generating words randomly, allegedly from the radio. The game we're
So
playing.
this is picking up on radio signals, and
Or-
it's just like things that are coming up through the sound waves that we physically can't hear, but this can.
That's the claim. However, I will tell you, I'm going to show you something. Hold it out.
Okay.
So it's going to give us, there are 9,112 words in there. Are all of those words coming from the radio? Probably not. It's meant to generate words at certain intervals or at complete random intervals. I haven't, 5 years I've been using this thing. Again, every night is about 5 to 20% of the words that come out of there are relevant to the location of where we are with specific details. Again, it wasn't something I created or called somebody up and said, hey, put the name Pinkney in there. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's a matter of I've seen the word pink, and then a few things later, the word knee. Pinkney in here.
Oh, yeah.
See where I'm going?
Yeah.
There were words in between that. So again, I have to take everything with a grain of salt.
The collective and like what times
Correct.
you're. So whenever you're out here with us, do you record like when you're here with us at certain times, or do you just have like a general idea?
That's doing it for us.
I asked her if she wanted us to leave, and we
Heard
heard
you.
that's exactly what I want.
Okay.
I just had
That's
45
actually
EMF
pretty
right here until you walked over, and now it's gone.
Let's
Yeah.
gather everybody.
Yeah,
up,
that
'cause
sounds like a
that's
good idea to
cue.
go then.
Come on over this way. There's timestamps on it.
She really does. Colin,
Wait, what did I just
she
hear?
really does not like you.
We asked Eliza, "Do you want us to leave this area?" And we heard that is exactly what I want.
Okay, so we just had something come through on Colin's spirit box. Do you want us to leave? That's exactly what I want. Came up exactly how he just said it, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So I was just telling, sorry, Justin and Emily. I don't know how I can forget Emily. So Emily is my puppy name, so it's really
Good choice.
Emily and Byron are my two pups. So anyway, back to
I'm
the
telling
EVP
that.
that we heard. So
That's what we heard.
I don't know, 6-8 months ago, I had an EVP come up here, disembodied, not radio chatter, that said, just leave us alone. So, again, we might just be a little too rowdy for Eliza and her family. We are talking about an English woman from colonial times. So I am going to take that as a cue.
Yes, sir.
So let me kind of give you the answers of the things that you guys were asking about so we can actually move on. So is that fair to everybody?
Yeah, we got some numbers to the kids too, but I don't think she had 23 kids.
She did not, but she was born in 1723. There were also 23 years between her and Charles. Ironically.
Wow, that's insane.
So, what else did you guys hear? Anything else on your spirit box? You weren't skipping over here, so I'm guessing the only thing you heard was.
I've never saw that.
She said
That
she'd
was
pay us
earlier we asked if
$1,000.
there's anything she wanted to tell us, and it said broken heart.
Yes.
You want to know why she had a broken heart? Because Charles died 14 years into their marriage. So she remained a widow for the rest of her years.
Colin is dying.
So that was in 1758, and she died in 1793. She was 70 years old when she died of breast cancer in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, which is also where she's buried, along with many of our presidents and founding fathers. Now, 1793, there's no such thing as breast cancer. We are going based off of her medical records. It was George Washington who was the pallbearer at her funeral. So we do have oak, but I usually look for cherry. Cherry tree dealing with George Washington. How did I know about George Washington? The EVP George Washington showed up twice in 1 week from the spirit boxes. Like, I can't make this stuff up. That's how I learned about it. Like, there's got to be a link somewhere to Washington in this time frame. So he was a pallbearer. So I usually get that question out there. The kids, there were 4 of them. So you guys already know about Charles. There was Thomas and baby George. George did not make it. We do not know how old this child was, whether days or weeks old, because the death certificate simply states the same month and year of birth and death. There's also no grave for George. George was named after Eliza's father. Eliza's maiden name was Lucas. What is her father's name? George. George what? Lucas. George Lucas. Last night, my group was asking me who George Lucas was. Okay, you're a little young. I forgot. You got teenagers here. So, it's just kind of ironic. I'm like, really? But that's okay.
He's Eliza's father.
So, going back to the kids, there was one more. There was 3 boys, 1 daughter. Her name was Harriet. She married in Horry. Horry is Myrtle Beach area because it's in Horry County. That's where she lived. Lots of letter writing back and forth between her and her daughter. So when Harriet shows up, there's something going on there. It's usually dealing with pen, ink, paper, published. All of those letters were published in 1 volume after Eliza's death. So the mansion did catch fire. I think you guys already figured that out. Somebody had a premonition of some sort. You want to take a guess on what year? About 1861. So interesting thing, every tour guide is going to tell you about a great fire of whatever year it happened in. This one went from Peninsula Coast to Peninsula Coast. The building was simply in the way. Right where we're standing is where the fire occurred. It took out half of the house. So you can see the other half that was still remaining. Based on some of the tools and the crews that we have going on here, you guys will get a link to show you what the house used to look like of where you're standing right now. Let's see. Is that about it? Oh, Eliza was 22 when she got married to Charles, who was 45. So there was 23 years between them.
No, it's fine. She's
But again,
22.
the number 23 being heard on your spirit box, very definitive. So
again. Good job listening on that one. All right, so from here, I think we're gonna go to Lodge Alley. So here's what's gonna happen on Lodge Alley. Spirit boxes, I want you guys to listen for names. I'm not gonna tell you what gender or specifically what names. I'm not gonna give you any subliminal messages. Which, speaking of, I did give you one and you guys all passed with a fail. We're not going to give you questions like what color is George Washington's white horse. The pallbearer was George Washington. Good job, everybody. They do that on purpose to see if anybody's going to pop up with something like you did with fire. So, I'm not going to give you those names. I'll tell you why when we get there. EMF meters. They're going to go crazy because of the parking meters. Don't get excited. Ignore your readings. Keep your REM pod off. There's no point. It's going to go nuts. When we get to Lodge Alley itself, you're going to take a few pictures. Josh, am I getting these right?
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to take a few pictures down Lodge Alley before we all walk down. When we walk down, spirit boxes will be turned down to mute. It is a quiet area. So we're only going to be there for a few minutes just so I can give you a layout of the land, setting up a story for later on. So you guys kind of need to know where you're at and how it all ties together.
Sure.
So, thermal imaging. So definitely keep recording. Obviously you stopped your video. I can see it stop blinking. What do you have now? I see some things going nuts on your screen.
Yeah, might, shell, acid, brave.
I thought I told you to go. Wait, what did that say?
That was whenever you had us all.
Did that say
together.
rave?
No.
Oh.
Brave.
All
Now I
right.
have vanished.
Yeah, we need to vanish.
Yeah, I think we should probably go.
I think they are not happy
Down
with
We
us.
need to
no
go.
lasers for a little bit. I'll kind of cue you in on that.
Please leave.
Would you like us to leave?
Grave.
Yes, please fucking leave.
Grave. Murder. 10 seconds.
Get the fuck out. 9.
Did I not make it clear? Yeah. Imagine if Natalie started getting numbers like that. We'd be like, I think we should
Exorcist.
really go. We should really start to go now.
Imagine if she got our address.
Oh, shit. I'd go straight to church.
Right? I would no longer be an atheist.
Ocean Boulevard.
604. Okay, I'm done. Sorry,
I
Nick.
believe in
Sorry,
Jesus.
bye, we're leaving. I'm sorry, a lot.
Buying a Bible on the way. Oh my God. You have a great day. Dude, I had to sleep next to Mary who fucking felt the fire.
Yeah, that was freaky.
Where I told you, oh no, you weren't in our car. I was literally telling everyone in the car, oh, Muriel, this is like has these like psychic premonitions and shit.
There are.
And you didn't tell us any information about where we were going, so we could not have looked that
So
up.
we had a huge talk about ghosts when we were in the airport, and we spoke about it like.
Oh.
Are you getting a
Oh.
Tinder profile?
Downing, ghost car.
Oh, that's the slave markets.
Yes.
God damn
city.
it.
They're called city markets now.
Okay, well. Let me just take a gandaroo in there. Just picture like a hanging thermal image. One way, one way. Good job, Ash. So where did Downing go?
He's getting Tinder photos.
Is he act? Oh.
Partner. 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 I said partner.
Maybe some other time, Downing. Maybe some other time.
I assume. Yeah, you know, just break it down quickly, like 50-yard game.
Sorry, my thing was falling.
My cotton best job.
Hey, listen, you know, thermal might not have the most activity, but we have an important job. Hey, we're here. So far, only thing was crazy was on Colin, who ended up pissing off the most ghosts. So.
I don't know. Mine told us that she hurt us and to vanish.
No, I meant like I've only had one thing. That's probably can be answered by something like a cold draft or something.
Meow. And then as we were exiting, it said, I'm going to have a nightmare.
Make sure if you feel anything else, you speak up, Mary. I said if you feel anything else, make sure to speak up. I was telling her if she feels anything else to speak up. Mary. Which, what I tell you on the way here? Told you she can do shit like that. Can't wait till we're trying to go to bed tonight. She just sits up in bed. No sleep for me.
I think it'll be a little funny about us taking pictures of you, so we're just going to pass it by on our way out. Just take a few on the way out.
Are we on mute here?
Yes.
I'm gonna kind of go backwards with this.
Barry and I did hear clearly that is exactly what I want, so I'm glad. We asked it, listened, looked at each other, and we were like, we should go talk to him. We should leave. This is not safe.
Did you lose anybody at the bar? It's happened. Like it hasn't. Usually if somebody comes on the tour drunk, they're gone as soon as they hit max pace. Welcome to Lodge Alley, everybody. So this is an interesting place only because when we crossed over that last crosswalk, you guys walked through the original Charlestown walls. So Charlestown was a walled city. This is one of the first streets we ever had. So the reason why I asked for names, which by the way, did we hear any names along the way here?
Oh, I thought we were on mute.
No, in here.
I'm on mute.
What do you
They're
got?
gone.
Yeah, they're gone now. So, this used to be where people lived, little tiny shotgun houses. So they were obviously lower class, so they did do an archaeological dig and find some of their tools and silverware, and we're able to consider these people lower class. Now, the interesting thing is that I have the full list of residents of every person that's ever lived here, along with their occupation. It's not a long list. The common names I normally give are Benjamin and John, and a third name showed up from the same year Benjamin and John living here in 1801 was the name Jane. That showed up this last week. So again, 3 out of 5 people that lived here, and I normally hear Benjamin and John about once a month in the same night. I don't find that coincidental. So sometimes John likes to give me his last name too, but it's Johnson. Yes, his name was John Johnson. So they also had a Masonic lodge here, which is why it's called Lodge Alley. The Freemasons were here. So clay, bricks, Freemason, Mason itself, like all of those terms will come up in this location at times. Again, it's not super active. We didn't get any pictures because we had some folks sitting pretty close to the edge. So Josh is going to take a few pictures on our way out. So he's going to be the last person in line as we kind of go through. Again, this is a brief stop, just kind of setting us up for a later on story. We are going to be cutting through a neighborhood, so Downey, you're still out with the lasers. Spirit boxes, 1 to 2 people only should be listening, audible enough only. We don't want to be pissing off the neighbors, basically. So we're literally right on the cusp of where tour guides are allowed to go. So again, we're going to be cutting through, just getting to our next location. So once we get there, we're going to learn a little bit about some of the legends and lore, which you should know some of them already, hopefully. If not, you'll learn a few things tonight. And then we're going to go investigate a female pirate over at the Powder magazine. So again,
I like her already.
she's pretty badass, actually. So it's an interesting story and how it all ties together with this specific location. So I kind of like to wrap it all up. So we are going to get you some new batteries, just not yet. All right, let's head up this way. Can everybody see up in the dark up here? Yep.
We went here or walk out a bit more?
Is there anybody here? Can you hear
Yeah.
us?
told you it was a fun time. Oh, yeah. Glad you guys came.
What? There's a red block in front of you.
Thanks.
Watch that.
What do you mean over here?
No, just want to tell you.
But yeah, so that's Colin.
He's pretty squeaky. Gotta watch him.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, don't let him make any funny moves.
No.
No.
How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, all right. Having fun?
Yeah.
It's a good time.
I'm gonna get a little indoor somewhere.
I know, that'd be fun. Maybe next time. Do like a lock in prison. They have a lot of those in PA. Like
Makes sense.
penitentiary. Yeah.
The penitentiary?
West Penn.
Have you done one?
No, Mary and I want to though.
Fun.
As you can tell, she's quite attuned to things.
Right.
Isn't that freaky? She does that shit all the time at home.
Just like,
She'll like sense things and then like we'll
Yeah.
look it up and fucking
that's wild.
yeah, it's pretty fucking scary. Okay, is it raining or am I getting dripped on?
Just call that.
Well, call me. Sorry to cut you off. I was trying to get out of there.
Alright, normally I'd say have a seat, but the bench is actually going to be wet. So did you guys happen to notice, let me go to the word list first. So what do we have going on? Because this is where,
Exposure, any lightning, gone, hours.
so I'm going to take lightning. That's
That was
actually
right when we were leaving the alleyway. That's when that happened.
So I'm still going to take lightning just based on where we are now. So a lot of times what I'll do is I take a look at the word list to see if anything, because there's literally like 25 stories on this corner. So I kind of like let this influence what story I'm going to tell you. Otherwise I kind of go into my specific, like my go-tos, which is the alley over there. But I'm going to go over...
Does any of them deal with aging? We heard aging from.
No, not to my knowledge.
Or 50% off. That one's
Well,
right here.
so with the spirit boxes being slowed down,
Yeah.
in December, for example, what color is the barn? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. I don't need Rudolph the nosed reindeer. I just need red. It's going to pick up extra stuff around it. So 50% off, I'm looking at 50. So that's the key thing that I'm looking for there.
Gotcha.
But no, 50 isn't anything off the top of my head.
Okay.
Or
Or
something.
aging.
Or aging.
It also said dreaming.
Dreaming. Nope. I got nothing.
Alright,
That's it.
we'll go with lightning.
We're gonna go with lightning. So this is St. Philip's Church. Every tour stops there because of one silly little story that's right inside there, and I'll get into that in a minute. But there was a young lady that actually worked here. So what was going on, which I haven't told the story in a while because I haven't had any clues to come up. So let's go back to Dock Street Theater for a second. So we have St. Philip's Church, and then 1 block away we have Dock Street Theater. During the time of this story, Dock Street Theater used to be called Planters Hotel. It was a hotel, it was a whorehouse, and a playhouse. She worked here because she was past the marrying age of 17. Nobody wanted to marry her at the age, I think she was 23. So don't quote me on that one.
Gross.
I know, right?
23.
She's so nasty. So nobody wanted her. She worked at the church. She's seen all the whoring going on down there at the whorehouse, and she decided she's going to put all her money together and go buy her a beautiful red dress and go down there and get herself a job at this whorehouse. Well, it's exactly what happened, and she's the best loved girl in the whole place. She still wasn't happy. She used to go out to the second-story balcony and leave on the wrought iron banister, pondering about coming back to the church. You can see the church from that banister. I've been as close to it as I can possibly go that they allow now, and you can see it. So what happens is the priest sees her out there night after night, pondering about coming back, so he goes down there to talk her into coming back to the church. The storm rolls in, lightning strikes the wrought iron banister that she's leaned on, and obviously kills her. Very abrupt story. The ghost part of this is that you can see her ghost on the second floor from the knees up only. The reason for that is because we've renovated that building 2 times already. We raised the first floor ceiling. She's walking on the floor that she knows. So if pieces of evidence that have been caught by that, we didn't realize that. Somebody like me had to do the research on the building to figure out, like, oh shit, they raised the first floor ceiling. That's why you can only see her. It's not a short ghost without the hem of her dress. The other interesting thing is that you can actually see her in color. That red dress apparently is prominent. If I say a ghost or apparition to you guys, you automatically think of something white and wispy and see-through. With this, apparently you can see the red dress. So that's one of the legends and myths. Her name was Nettie Dickerson. So I will give you the link to that specific ghost story so you guys can read the full detail. Anything else since I said any of that?
A bunch of stuff.
Really?
They laugh, photograph, risk, Mia, shelter.
Okay, so photograph is the reason why they're all down there, and that's probably the first word that popped up when I said an exposure.
And literally all of these. Sorry, I'm so excited.
So, photograph. They're all down there at that gate because there's a sign right inside the cemetery that says there's no ghost here but the Holy Ghost. The reason for that, there's a reason, of course. 1888, a young lady dies by the name of Sue Howard Hardy. I'll just point out that her initials are SHH, which have come up as shh on a spirit box before. Very interesting fact. But anyway, she dies 6 days after her stillborn child. 1987, a photographer's in town putting a book together. He captures a full apparition of a woman wearing a shawl and a baby basket next to her over that grave. Now, it's 1987. No Photoshop, no cell phones, none of that mess is going on. He sends it to Kodak to try to get it debunked. Of course, that's the only way you can do it. They can't debunk the picture either. The picture is cursed, which is why I don't show it to you. Females that handle the picture, like on a cell phone, are going to get the same symptoms like I told you about at Big John's. Females that are pregnant and holding the picture, based on the gist of the story, you're probably not going to have a good pregnancy, and not to mention, I'm not going to be the guy that had, somebody had a great time on their vacation, and all of a sudden, I'm the guy to blame because somebody's family is all screwed up now. So I'm not going to be that guy. Now, we do have the word photograph the minute I started saying about that story. So I'm definitely going to be giving you that link. There will be a heated warning to females. Do not handle it on your cell phone. Have a guy show it to you, look at it on a computer, do whatever you want to do.
Don't look at it.
Evidence is compelling. It is the photograph and the full story of Sue Howard Hardy. So again, that's why they all go up there. They all drag out that story for like 10 minutes, and it is their big finale. So again, I don't always overlook it, but when I see something come up like photograph, well, it's telling us to watch.
No thanks. Close our eyes.
Finding and watch.
You guys okay?
Yeah.
Alright, just guys are fine though.
Well, I was told to watch, so my eyes are peeled.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Hey Nick,
Yes.
battery just died.
Yep, it usually does when we're about this location, so we will change out your batteries and Downey's batteries right after the story next time. Alright, so
guys okay to go in the cemetery or not?
Just
you guys-
completely separate. Just the picture.
Yeah,
it's-
but like in the cemetery? For now.
Yeah, and it's as far as in the cemetery, it's fine. The whole point of there's also a light that actually points right at the sign. They don't want guys like me up there trying to take pictures, trying to capture this apparition. So actually to visit it, you can't go visit that side of the cemetery. They're always working on something because of the age of it. Again, we're talking a few hundred years old. That's where Charles Pinckney's buried. By the way. I'm going to point out 2 different sides of the cemetery. This is the eastern side.